Trying to sell B2B right now, it feels like you're navigating a storm without a map. The markets are turbulent, customer behavior is all over the place, and honestly, the old playbooks just aren't cutting it anymore. So let's jump in and unpack a new way to drive growth, even when everything feels this uncertain.
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it? But it's the reality so many companies are facing right now. The very tactics that were winning deals and building solid relationships just a year, maybe 18 months ago, are suddenly falling flat. Or even worse, they're actually pushing good customers away. So what on earth changed? And more importantly, how do we fix it? For the longest time, the B2B world ran on a pretty predictable model, right? You'd build a strong brand people trusted, you'd have your sales team out in the field building relationships over handshakes and steak dinners, and the big decisions, well, they were often guided by experience and a good old-fashioned gut feeling. And hey, for a long time, that worked like a charm, but the ground has completely shifted under our feet.
So, what does this new reality actually look like on the ground? Well, the data paints a really stark picture, one where adapting isn't just a good idea, it's become a fight for survival. Okay, first reality check. Brand loyalty, as we used to know it, is fading fast. In this economy, customers are making decisions with their calculators, not just their hearts. A staggering 84%. I mean, think about that. More than 4 out of every 5 buyers are now prioritizing price and quality over any kind of emotional connection to a brand. This is a huge shift to what some are calling value-first thinking. And it's not just why people are buying, it's how. The days of relying on those face-to-face meetings are pretty much over. Today, a huge majority, we're talking 70 to 80% of B2B decision makers, they actually prefer remote or digital ways of connecting. Why? Because it's faster, it's easier, and it's just way more efficient for them. And all of this change is creating a massive divide in the marketplace. What you're seeing here is that remote and digital self-service have become the go-to for customers at every single stage of the buying journey. The companies that get this, the ones leaning into digital, they're becoming the new leaders. And those clinging to the old, in-person playbook, well, they're quickly becoming laggards. Adapting isn't optional anymore. So, where do we even begin to build a new playbook? Well, the very first step is to completely rethink what customer loyalty even means in this new world. It's so much more than a simple points program now. The solution starts with this concept: loyalty architecture. Now, this is not just another marketing buzzword. It's a fundamental shift in how you run your business, a whole system designed to treat customers less like sales targets and more like true partners, working together to create value for both sides. And this whole architecture is powered by what you could call a virtuous loop. It kicks off with getting deep insights into what your customers really need. That knowledge lets you engage with them in a truly meaningful way. And when you do that, customers actually want to participate. They give you feedback, they help you innovate. That collaboration creates mutual value, which makes them happier, which gives you even more insight, and the whole cycle starts over, getting stronger and stronger every single time. Okay, a new philosophy is great, but how do you actually build it? That's where the modern sales engine comes in. Think of this as the nuts and bolts, the mechanics that bring that new loyalty architecture to life. I mean, just look at the difference between the old and the new. The old way, outside sales, that meant flights, hotels, rental cars, and really long sales cycles. The modern inside sales engine, it's not just a little bit cheaper, it's 40 to 90% cheaper. Plus, it's faster, it's way more scalable, and this is the important part, it perfectly matches the digital-first way your customers actually want to buy today. But what's the real secret sauce here? The brains of this new engine? It's data. We're talking about using machine learning to look at all your past customer requests, all those requests for quotation, and learn the hidden patterns. This allows the system to predict which new leads are the most likely to turn into actual sales, replacing that old-school gut feeling with cold, hard data. And the impact of this data-driven approach is just wow. Instead of having your team waste time chasing down every single lead, machine learning can pinpoint the absolute best opportunities. The result? A 2.5 times performance improvement compared to the old manual way. That's your team's precious time and energy focused only where it's going to make the biggest difference. Okay, so we've redefined loyalty, we've built a modern sales engine. So what's next? How do we jumpstart performance right now? Let's break it down into 5 super high-impact levers you can pull immediately.
But before we dive into those levers, this quote from Warren Buffett just sets the stage perfectly. In a market like this, the ability to command your price and protect your profits, well, it's everything. And these next 5 levers are all about building that power and that discipline.
So here's the game plan, based on a fantastic checklist from McKinsey. First, you stop the bleeding. Then you win more right on your home turf. After that, you scale up the search for new opportunities. You focus your firepower on the biggest prizes. And finally, you get really smart about your pricing. Let's break each one down.
First up, stop the bleeding. I mean, it sounds obvious, right? But look at the math. Losing a customer, we call it churn, it does 2 to 3 times more damage to your revenue than you could ever make up with new growth initiatives. This means keeping the customers you have isn't just defense, it's your single most powerful offensive strategy.
Next, you've got to win more at home. Your existing customer base is an absolute gold mine. With the right analytics to spot those hidden opportunities, one company saw a 10-fold increase in cross-sell revenue in just 2 months. 10 times. Your happiest customers are ready to buy more from you. You just have to know what to offer them. All right, let's talk new business. Instead of just casting a wide, generic net, you can now use generative AI. It can analyze your absolute best customers, create a lookalike profile, and then go find more prospects just like them. One distributor used this to find $1 billion in new sales opportunities. They basically doubled their pipeline in 6 weeks. You know, not all deals are created equal. The really big ones, they need a different level of support. By creating dedicated teams, some people call them win rooms, just for your most important opportunities, you can boost your win rates by 10 to 20%. That might not sound like a lot, but it can lead to a massive 4 to 12% jump in your overall revenue.
And finally, pricing. This might just be the most powerful and most overlooked lever you have. A tiny strategic 1% price increase, just 1%, can boost your operating profit by a staggering 6 to 14%. This isn't about slapping a price hike on everything. It's about using data to find those little pricing inconsistencies and outliers that are costing you a fortune. So after all that, it really brings us to one final crucial question. The evidence is just overwhelming. Your customers have evolved. The technology you can use to reach them and serve them has evolved dramatically. The only real question left to ask is, has your strategy?